Well, it's day 3 of the second Trump presidency, and Trump has already made it clear that his biggest priority is making money for himself and his rich buddies. He's already rescinded government ethics rules and, for some reason, claimed rich people love to take long showers. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. Inaugurations give presidents a chance to signal to the country what we can expect over the next 4 years. Even the choice of celebrity guests conveys a message. Obama had Beyonce, Biden had Lady Gaga and J-Lo, and how about Trump? Who were the VIPs at his inaugural ball?
WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan joins me now. How you feeling, Hulk?
Brother, I am so stressed out, brother. You know, riddle me this, riddle me that. Nobody's afraid of the old man who don't know where he's at, brother.
Don't know where you're at? Oh, great. So now we're ending sentences with prepositions. And no, it doesn't save it by tagging on brother at the end. But still, Hulk Hogan's doing poetry now. Is he the new Secretary of Education? Okay, class, today's Secretary Hulk will be reading a selection by William Carlos Williams.
I've eaten the plums that were in the icebox, brother. Which you were probably saving for breakfast. And if you got a problem with that, brother, I'll put the atomic leg drop on you. Just like I did to Macho Man Randy Savage.
But don't worry, Hulk did eventually do his signature move, which he also did at several Trump rallies, of ripping his shirt off just to reveal another shirt underneath it. Which I think is a pretty good metaphor for anyone who thinks Trump might be a different president this time around. Oh, look, he's changing. Oh, never mind. It's just another shirt. Still, when Hulkster did his big reveal, it was as smooth as 3rd Avenue when they're doing construction, and by that I mean it was as bumpy as
You know what? Donald Trump lifted the veil off America. Hold on, Jess.
All right, here we go.
Our border. Lower gas prices.
Yes.
We got real American beer in the house. We got real American beer.
oh my God, so much business. Don't get me wrong, I could never rip my sleeves on. I did the Hulk voice a second ago, and I'm super hurt. That's pretty much what we can expect for the next 4 years. An aging TV personality pretending to wrestle America's enemies while, much like Hulk Hogan's sleeves, he rips us off. And Trump's not being shy about it.
Oh, you don't like the wordplay, brother?
He put the tech oligarchs front and center at his inauguration. Remember, this is a guy who, during the campaign, when he wanted your vote, did rallies and photo ops with farmers, coal miners, police officers, and factory workers, and even dressed up like a garbage man to ride around in a garbage truck. At least, I think he was a garbage man. He also could have been a traffic cone. Look for the new Trump cones at your nearest construction site, or more likely, online at the Trump store for $99.99. But when it came time to signal where the real power will be in his administration, Trump gave VIP seats to a group of tech titans worth a combined $1 trillion, while his own supporters were literally left out in the cold. Even elected United States senators were excluded from the VIP seats, like Bernie Sanders, who made his displeasure clear while he was sitting in the crowd during Trump's speech. Now, in fairness, that is how he always looks. He's been on this show many times and done the exact same thing. I mean, that's incredible. He looks like he's been sitting at a restaurant for 10 minutes and the waiter still hasn't said hello. Excuse me, can we get a drink list? The top 1% of the tables are getting 99% of the menus. I really hope that one day there's a statue of Bernie Sanders inside the Capitol next to all the other statues of American dignitaries and founding fathers, and it looks exactly like this. And even the pigeons are like, let's steer clear of that one. He's grumpy enough. So the oligarchs were all there to suck up to Trump. But hey, at least none of them did anything weird or off-putting that caused a major international outcry.
SpaceX, Tesla, and ex-founder Elon Musk igniting online chatter for what he did at a rally for President Trump yesterday. The billionaire seen placing his hand on his heart and then extending his arm out above his head with his palm facing down. He did that gesture twice. Many on social media compared the gesture to a Nazi salute.
Thank you.
I don't know why everybody's complaining. He was just grabbing his heart and violently throwing it out to the crowd. in that classic gesture that has no dark historical overtones. But before anyone rushes to judgment, let's listen to Musk defenders.
The Anti-Defamation League, and the leading Jewish civil rights group, they responded to the controversy saying, quote, "It seems that Elon Musk made an awkward gesture in a moment of enthusiasm, not a Nazi salute, but again, we appreciate that people are on edge."
Aww. It's nice to be appreciated. But the statement continued, "In this moment, all sides should give one another a bit of grace, perhaps even the benefit of the doubt, and take a breath." It does help answer the question, what do you get for the man who has everything? The benefit of the doubt. And so I'm gonna take that advice. I mean, who among us hasn't sieged when we were trying to zag?
Oh, brother, they don't like the wordplay. They don't like the wordplay. I got worried earlier, brother. Because I knew that was coming, brother. And that blood's on my hands because I wrote that one, brother. Woke up in the middle of the night.
There you have it. The oligarchs are firmly in the driver's seat for Trump 2.0. In fact, Trump has made it clear over and over again that he wants an economy dominated by the wealthy. He keeps citing a period of tremendous inequality known as the Gilded Age as an example of what he wants to emulate.
Our country was at its richest from 1870 to 1913. We had the most. That was when we were the richest, relatively speaking. We were the richest during that period of time. That was tariffs from other countries.
Okay, even if you don't have a degree in history or economics, just take a second to ask yourself, is it really possible that the United States of America was actually richer before cars were mass-produced, before polio was cured, back when Coca-Cola still had actual cocaine in it? I mean, that part I get because people were probably way more productive. Yeah, I'm gonna ride a horse down to the farm, then I'm gonna plant a bunch of corn, and then I'm gonna go to the factory and make a bunch of textiles, put them on a railroad car, ride a horse down to the oil field. Wah! Seriously, just put aside the massive levels of poverty and inequality and worker exploitation and a string of financial panics and recessions that occurred in the period before banking reforms and child labor laws. Do you really think America actually had more money before cell phones and computers existed? America used to be a rich nation, but then came the cell phone, and now everyone spends their money on Extra Lives and Candy Crush, and that's why we have to place tariffs on the Jelly Queen and Cupcake Carl. They can't be trusted. Anyone who remembers high school history knows that the Gilded Age was a period of staggering inequality dominated by robber barons, which is exactly the type of economy Trump wants to recreate. On Tuesday, he held a press conference with a few more billionaires where he was asked about his own money-making ventures, including his meme coin that has allowed supporters to transfer billions of dollars directly into his pockets. And he laughed at how meaningless a few billion is to the super rich.
You launched a crypto coin the other day. Do you intend to continue selling products that benefit yourself personally while you're president?
Well, I don't know if it benefited. I don't know where it is. I don't know much about it other than I launched it. I heard it was very successful. I haven't checked it. Where is it today?
Hey, you made a lot of money, sir.
How much?
Several $1 billion, it seems like, in the last several days.
Several billion? That's peanuts for these guys.
Oh, is it really? If they're doing so well, then why is Mark Zuckerberg taking on a side job as a club promoter? Looks like he just joined Run DMZ. Second, I'm sorry, but there's no way Donald Trump doesn't know how much money he made on his meme coin. If he gives you $3 to run out and buy a Diet Coke, he's counting every cent you bring back. I'm just kidding. He would never give you money to buy something for him. He'd ask you to buy it yourself, then direct you to the White House Office of Presidential Repayment, which is just a sign above an open door on Air Force One. Probably wrote the joke to mean that somebody would walk off a plane. As opposed to, like, walk into a super nice plane. One might say the joke, we got the opposite of what we were looking for. The best thing is Sal's over there, he writes these, and sometimes when the graphic's wrong, I know they're wrong because I watch Sal do this. It's like having Kermit as a head writer. And he can't walk and tell anybody because, you know, no legs. I guess Kermit had legs. They just weren't like. What is this? This whole thing's about the Muppets? I just feel like with everything going on in the world, Sal, we should write about, just to make it about the Muppets was a mistake. For Trump, everything comes back to wealth, even the LA wildfires. Trump went on yet another rant about water in California, which has been repeatedly debunked, but in doing so, he also went off on a bizarre side tangent about rich people and showers.
We're going to be issuing an executive order demanding that they immediately let that water come down through California. Farmers, even people living in Beverly Hills. Now, those people have been a lot of them are wiped out. Believe it or not, they were having restrictions, Larry, you know about this. They wanted to restrict you to 38 gallons of water a day. That sounds like a lot, but it's not when you're a rich person and you like to take a shower.
Wait, so I'm sorry, is he saying normal people don't like to take showers? Or is he saying that when rich people take showers, they need way more water? I mean, look at Zuckerberg's hair. It's got a lot of bounce. Guy must be shampooing at least 3-4 times a day. They wouldn't let Bezos shower. That's why his hair is gone. Beautiful locks. Guy used to look like Fabio. So sad. And Trump is following through on his desire to profit off the presidency. One of his first acts as president was rescinding government ethics rules set in place by Joe Biden among the flurry of executive orders he signed.
President Trump also rescinding 78 of President Biden's executive actions from his past 4 years in office. The president rescinding executive orders taken by Biden, including prohibitions against sex discrimination in federal agencies, cuts to drug prices for people on Medicaid, an order that required executive branch appointees to sign an ethics pledge.
That's right. Biden required executive branch employees to sign an ethics pledge, and Trump repealed that. Under Trump, government employees are no longer required to abide by ethics rules or wear sleeves. Can we get a shot of Bernie's reaction when he was informed of this new policy? Oh, no. Bernie's so mad he's going to tear off his suit. Trump's going to spend his time in office pleasing the oligarchs while the rest of us get ripped off. Those are the only people he cares about. Elon Musk is so close to Trump, he might as well be Trump's
brother.
This has been a closer look.